And welcome everybody to the start of a brand new season here for the Minnesota Vikings. We are starting week 1 against the Arizona Cardinals, but before we could actually get into the game, we have a couple bits of housekeeping that we need to do. As we can see here over on the bottom leftish area, we've had some practice squad players sign, some of guys that were on our practice squad. Not that I don't think all these guys were ones that I put on there, but the CPU did, that other teams have taken. So we're going to start by doing the same. So as we take a look here at players that are just on the practice squad, we see a lot of kickers and punters typically up here, but there are some other guys, and I think the first one I want to take a look at here is a cornerback who is currently on the Packers, and Benjamin Wilson. He's 23, 72 overall, so has some decent age to him. He's 6 foot, 187, decent height and weight. He's much more of a man cover guy, not as much in terms of a zone or press, but we've been playing a little bit more man with our new defensive scheme, with our new defensive coordinator. He's someone who could potentially get a little bit better, and we could use some depth at the cornerback spot. We have a bunch of cap space, so we'll bring him in, and he'll be our first signing. We'll need to move some guys around the roster to officially make that 53-man spot, but that's going to be our first poaching of this session here. We have another intriguing guy here in Willie Johnson. He's a 22-year-old undrafted rookie out of Pittsburgh. He's a little bit on the shorter side at 5'10", but he has a good frame to him at 200 pounds. As we take a look over at the ratings, he has speed, really good medium route running. Release isn't too bad either, especially starting off with. Catcher ratings aren't bad either. Good change of direction, some after the catch ability for sure. I would like to bring him in. And we'll talk a little bit about the receiving group in a moment, but he's definitely one that I would like to bring a little bit of some more youth to the receiver group. And with that signing of another receiver, the guy from the practice squad, Willie Johnson, right now we have 8 receivers on roster, and we really don't need 8 receivers. And unfortunately, with Ihmir Smith-Marsette now being 25 years old, he's the same overall as 2 rookies that we now have. We also have Tyrone Leary, who's not that far behind. I think it's time that we move on from Ihmir Smith-Marsette. Whether that's going to be a trade or we end up just releasing, we'll see it in just a moment. I will check the trades, see if anyone's interested, and if we could get maybe a 5th, 6th, or a 7th round pick, I think that would be fair for his skill set. And the first trade we're going to try here, they don't show a whole lot of interest with the red flag over on Ihmir Smith-Marsette, but it's a 6th round pick to the Raiders, and we're offering this because they don't have a lot of receiver depth. Their top 3, I think, the third guy is like a 74 overall, then the next 2 are like 64s. So we'll see if they're interested in this trade. Pretty close. It's a 6th round pick, or current for the next draft 6th round pick. They had it close. I did not want to skip to those other parts. Let's check maybe a 7th. I think again that would be fair for Smith-Marsette here. See if they're interested in the 7, and they will take that. So we'll pick up a 2nd, 7th round pick in this next draft. And to make the final spot, so we meet the 53-man roster, get down to 53. I think we're going to move Adrian Jacobson to the practice squad. He's our rookie center. He could be a guy that ends up getting poached. It could very well happen. He has some pretty good starting run block ratings. His strength is a bit low. Pass block is not there. And he's not a very smart guy with the awareness, with the boost at only 59. So we'll move him to the practice squad, and if he ends up going somewhere else, we wish him all the best, but that is where he's heading. So that way we meet the 53 requirement, and we are ready to really head into week 1. I'll take care of the weekly strategy. That's the term. Take care of the weekly strategy, and we'll see you in the game. And one last thing before we get into the game that I almost completely forgot that is essential. We have to go over our scouts, hire new scouts, set our scouts, and get ready for the season. So first we need to take a look at this draft class and find out who's the best and what positions are the best and kind of what we want to focus on. So national-wise, wide receiver, cornerback, and left outside linebacker are the strength. Weaknesses, offensive line, basically, which is okay because I think we've built up enough, at least for right now. We do have one spot with DeCastro that we could definitely look to improve at come the next year, but we just have to find one lineman for that, whether it's in the draft or free agency. Or, yeah, I said that right. Draft or free agency. So for national, I still would love to get younger at the cornerback position. We've signed a lot of veterans. I would like to bring in a younger guy. So keeping the current guy we have with Rondé Barber, have him be our quarterback scout guy. I mean, that would be good for us. In the West, strengths are left defensive end, wide receiver, and left outside linebacker. Now, here I would definitely look at the defensive ends because we have a stopgap basically with J.J. Watt, and again, would like to get a young guy, a rookie out there if possible. So, strengths being left defensive end, that fits perfectly. So, I'll mark that down on my notes. Central, we have cornerback, right tackle, and right guard. So I think here we need to focus on guards. Currently in the West, we do have a right guard scout, so we'll probably just move him over to Central, and we'll keep him. So that is Alan Faneka. We'll keep him around. Just move him over to the Central. In the Northeast, they have wide receiver, left defensive end, and left guard, which we already have the guard, the defensive end, and we don't really need any new receivers. So we'll come back to the Northeast. For Southeast, they have left outside linebacker, cornerback, and halfback. So unfortunately, one of the positions that I was really wanting to scout is quarterback. So Saunders is basically starting the year off on the hot seat. He's had some really poor performances the last 2 years, despite us winning the Super Bowl. I think of Eli Manning, but when he was on the hot seat year after year, but they still happened to win the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and it was kind of okay, he's getting us the championship, but he's also not being that great of a player, but he still makes some great plays every now and then. It's a confusing time, but I definitely think we need to take a look at the quarterbacks. So we see top prospect here in the Northeast is a quarterback here in Mike Sherman. If we look at Southeast, no one's listed there. So I'm just going to take a quick look here, see which one has the most quarterback options, and that'll be where we choose to have a quarterback. So we have a top 5. Doubt we would be picking in the top 5 unless things go really poorly this year. But that's for the Northeast. And then for the Southeast, even less. So I think we'll do Northeast quarterback. And then for the Southeast, it's kind of just a toss-up of what we want to do. We have a feeling that we will be losing Harrison Smith after this year, as I believe he's 34, 35 years old in this game currently. So perhaps taking a look at these left outside linebackers would be a good option for us. We obviously have Alex Brooks, and he's played very well, but you need to have at least 3 linebackers, and I don't think that we have a third one who could step up and kind of really play that role. Hard to say. The next one up, I think, would be Eldra Hilton. He's only, I think, a 67, maybe 68 overall currently, so I think it would be smart for us to take a look at these linebackers, and there's quite a few. And there's 5 of them that would be second round up. Even, you could say 6 for about mid-third, maybe 4th round and up. So a lot of options. I think it would be smart to select left outside linebacker for the Southeast. So then in terms of our actual guys that we're having scout, many of these guys we can keep. So Zach Strickland we could keep. He scouts left and right ends. We're looking at left ends in the West, so we could go ahead and adjust him to be West. Corners we'll keep with our national scouting. Middle linebackers we do not need, so we will be getting rid of Sanchez. And then we do not need a receiver scout, so we will be getting rid of Thornton. And that leaves us with Alan Faneka, who we will be moving into the central scouting spot. There it is. And now we need to find 2 more guys. So the last 2 positions that we need is a quarterback and a linebacker, an outside linebacker scout. So let's see what we could find. As for quarterbacks, there's 2 options, and I don't believe we have a 3. So Kenny Ramsey, We'll bring him in. I believe we could bring him in. No, we can't. Okay, can we bring in Freeman? We've brought in Freeman, so we have a quarterback scout, and I don't believe there is a outside linebacker scout available. I've just found middle linebackers, and unfortunately that looks like the only option we really have for having someone scout the backers. So, Derek Johnson, can we bring you in? No, I think we need a 2 maybe. Brackett? No, we need another 1. All right, we'll bring back Sanchez then to scout the outside linebacker. So quarterback, we had, I believe it was the Northeast. Let me check the notes again. Yes, Northeast. So we will assign him to the Northeast. And then linebackers will be scouted in the Southeast. They might actually have a decent amount of middle linebackers. That's something we should check real quick before we leave the screen and everything gets locked in. So let's check that region breakdown for Southeast and see if they have any amount of middle linebackers, or if we end up selecting them to be still scouting the left outside linebackers. So middle linebackers, once it loads, it's going to have me go past it first. There is only 1. So we will still have them scout the left outside linebackers. We just won't get as much of a boost with that. Welcome to U.S. Bank Stadium, the start of the new football year. This is a Thursday night primetime game. Pretty sure that means that it is the first game to happen in this NFL season. Both teams wearing their full primary color uniforms here. So Vikings in the all purple, and the Cardinals are coming out in their all red. Their typical color rush is black, but I thought having purple and black would be just a little bit too much. So we're going to try to just roll out here. Saunders actually going to scramble for the first play of the season, and that was one thing that we were wanting to limit this year, was how often Saunders is scrambling. That was one of the new things that our new offensive coordinator, when he came in, he said, all right, Saunders struggles after really running around too much. So we get a nice juke there from Dalvin, gets a first down, however, flag on the play. And that's going to back us up. Going to be a block in the back. And that's on Justin Jefferson. Give us a 1st and 5, though. Still not bad. Yeah, our new OC said we're going to limit the amount that Saunders scrambles. That way he could try to perform as best as he can, as often as he can. We're going to check this down to Dalvin out the backfield. Gets close to the first down, but probably about a yard short. They're going to say 2nd and inches. Looked a little slow on that play. Because Dalvin seemed a little tired, we're going to bring in Nwangwu here for the 2nd and short run. Going to go right down the middle, and he's going to get about a yard, but that yard will give us a first down. And this is one of the new formations you'll see this year. Going to have a 2 receiver, 2 tight end set in the shotgun formation. Let's see who gets open here. First interception of the season there for Saunders. You kind of saw a little bit of what we were looking for. Lucas was open, but just a good spot from where the linebacker was sitting. If we threw it earlier, would have been an easy completion. But that's the first turnover for Saunders and the Vikings on this season. Kyler Murray looking really good. He'll bring the Cardinals out here, see what they can do. And, of course, to match the new offensive coordinator, we do have a new defensive coordinator as well. Schemes are sticking pretty similar to what we have been running, just a little bit of some difference. And the first tackle by Bradbury, first tackle for him as a Minnesota Viking, only a gain of 1 on the first down run. But yeah, this year we switched up the defensive scheme. We were running a base 4-3. Now we're running a 4-3/4, I believe it is. So they're going to get to the outside. I don't think the feet were down. No, they say incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 9. They come out in an empty set. We're going to spread the defensive line, set up the pass rush here. Got to make sure we have at least one guy on everyone, and they're going to scramble with Murray. Can Reed Jr. get not even close? There's a lot of yards there for Murray, and that was the focus point of the defense coming into this game, was containing the quarterback, and they most definitely did not there. A gain of 28 on the quarterback scramble. And one thing that our head coach made sure of, that our defensive coordinator kept, was that double A gap formation, and we try to bring that. We don't get home. No one kind of really gets off any blocks, and that's a completion to their tight end down to the 4. And the Cardinals will come out with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2 running backs in the backfield. You're going to send 1 in motion. Interesting play design, kind of sending your lead blocker away, and it almost works. They get down to the 1. And a new formation that the Vikings are bringing out this year is the 4-6 formation. Harvey Keenan, one of the safeties that we traded for, kind of play a little bit of middle linebacker there. Unfortunately, we don't get the good coverage on Kirk, and Cardinals score first in this game with a slant pass. Going to put them up 7-zip. The offense will retake the field here, now down 7 after the turnover on their first drive. See if we could get any correction here. Going to follow behind our rookie guard Wilds. It's a gain of 4 on the first rush there from Dalvin. Could have sworn he had a... Oh, no, that one was called back the last drive. But yeah, this year we're going to be running a multiple power offense. This is similar to what we ran the previous 2 years, as we get a completion there to Jefferson. Not able to get around the edge, but he does give us the first down. But yeah, similar to what we've run previously with, I believe it was a vertical power run. But with the new OC, we have a new scheme here. Going to dump this off to Flanagan, avoid the sack. I don't think we gained anything on that play. Actually, a loss of 2. On 2nd and 12, we'll come out in a jumbo set here. 3 tight ends to the left. And we're going to have some pulling guards as well. Not able to get completely to the outside. Dalvin tries to juke back in, but jukes a little bit too far in. But we still get a decent gain. Going to bring up a 3rd and 7. And on 3rd and 7, we'll run the slant routes. That seems to be what Saunders can throw the best. But you never quite know. We'll see. Go deep, not quite as far downfield as I thought it was going to be, but a nice catch there from Justin Jefferson. Gives us the first down. Fortunately, looked like a player for the Cardinals, a bit slow to get up. So hopefully nothing too serious for him. Appeared to be some problem with his leg, so he limped over to the sideline. He was going off on his own power, so that's always nice to see. And going to test double coverage, and almost came back to bite us. And now we're going to have our own injury. Brian O'Neill slow to get up. And that could really cost us. I'm pretty sure he's our highest overall lineman. We'll have Clayton come in at the right tackle spot. And we're not going to get much here on the 2nd down run. Maybe a gain of 2. Yeah, gain of 2. 3rd and 8. We're trying to run some curls here. See if we could find the opening. They do a nice job. We're going to try to roll out here with Saunders. Try to get a block from Dalvin. He ends up not getting it, but he gets close to the 1st, and I think they'll give it to him. That they do. Good scramble there from Saunders, but again, trying to limit those to only run when we absolutely have to. And there's the update for Brian O'Neill, a dislocated shoulder. That's going to be out for a couple weeks at least. At least that's what I would think, although I think I have seen some dislocated shoulders come back like the next week, which seems insane to me. We'll go deep. Interesting. We definitely had the inside release, but nice pass break up there from the corner. And we're going to head into the 2nd quarter here, down 7-zip, but we're in striking territory. Starting at the 25, we'll come out, run the draw play here. See if that kind of helps anything. No, not really. Not really at all. Going to be maybe a loss. And bring up a 3rd and 10. And of course, Chark, we did end up bringing back. He's one of the new starters on the outside. We're going to get him on the release on the inside. Saunders almost missed that pass, but Chark is in for our first touchdown of the season. Really glad to see his progression since we brought him in. He started to make more and more plays last year, and he earned his new contract. Vikings offense did what they needed to do, went down the field and at least tied this game up. Now it's going to be the defense's time to make a play here. And we're not able to get the tackle there with the new safety. I believe that was Harvey. Instead, the other new safety, Henley, comes over and gets the tackle, but still a gain of a first down on that run. It was the safety duo there on that play who slowed him down and actually got the tackle. Looks like they're going to send a guy in motion, run to that left-hand side, and just not getting good block shedding on any of these runs so far. I'm going to change up this to a man coverage. Kendricks is going to go out to cover the tight end as they come out in a wide set. And that's who they end up going for. And again, some poor tackling. The tight end's still going. We finally get the tackle there with Harvey down to the 16. So far, at least in this game, not seeing a whole lot of rush up front or run stopping up front either. A little slow. Kendricks gets through the line really quickly, though. However, pass still gets out, but we get a tackle, only a gain of 1. Nice play from our rookie strong safety. And one thing we will note, Alex Brooks is one of these starting linebackers. He's the third linebacker that comes out in the base formations. And so far we're seeing a lot of plays from Henley. He, of course, was our first round pick, the 32nd overall pick, another guy out of USC. So the last two drafts we've drafted from the same school, in the same position in the draft, and got so far looks like some pretty decent guys. However, some really poor play on that last play gives them the first and goal here down at the 6. They're going to run a read option, and there's no one there. Kyler Murray in, giving the Cardinals another lead in this game, 14-7. Vikings come out in the same position that they did last time where they were down 7, needing a touchdown. We'll see if they could put together the same drive here. We just need to throw this one away. We didn't have anyone open, and the rush was getting there. And this is a very similar formation to what we ran last year, except we have Flanagan out in the slot spot instead of Osborne. Honestly, we didn't see a whole lot from Flanagan last year. It was really disappointing. We do see a good run there from Dalvin. He gives us the first down on that second down draw play. When the new OC came in, he said we need to get Flanagan the ball more, give him more opportunities. And so he'll be coming out here to run this formation instead. And we get sacked from a guy who was laying on the ground. Good job there, Saunders. And not so great job from the lineman. Obviously one of those a little bit sarcastic. But we'll see what we're able to do here if Flanagan is able to take control given this new opportunity here. We're going to switch this up to the switch play, as I didn't like the single high safety for the play we were running. Try to go underneath here. Justin Jefferson, another completion on the day, gets us close to the first down marker. And one role that you're going to see a bit more diminished this year is that of the fullback spot. Obviously, the last 2 years, we've used the fullback quite a bit, fullback dives, and another injury up front. This time, Dalton Smith goes down. This would bring in second-year center Perry. Hopefully, this is nothing serious. And he did just make his way over to the sideline, so doesn't look all too serious. They did move Clayton into center and brought Perry over to the guard or the tackle spot. We end up throwing that away, but I think that's going to be intentional grounding. I don't think Saunders got to the outside, and they're going to say no. So that's going to be a loss of down and yardage. And another injury, Christian Darrisaw now injured. This is going to bring in basically every single backup lineman that we have, and it is bruised ribs. We're going to need him to come back in. We don't have that many linemen. Obviously, to make room for everyone, we did move one of our backup centers to the practice squad. So, depending on what happens here, we might need to bring him back. We're going to get Chark, though. Nice pass from Saunders and no one around. This is going to be a touchdown for DJ Chark, his second on the day, 62 yards to the house. Pure speed after that last break. That's on Budda Baker. He just happens to get the catch, does a nice job boxing him out, and then it was all speed the rest of the way. And here's the update for Christian Darrisaw. Going to be a hit pointer. Again, we kind of need them all in. Defense hasn't played all too well today. I think they got one stop on the first drive, and that was about it. Giving up a touchdown every time since. Bradbury not able to break up that pass to Hopkins. That'll be another first down for the Cardinals. So far, they just kind of just done anything that they really wanted, as we do. And that just sums it up. We get the swat, and it just falls into Kirk's hands. He gets the completion. Change up the play that we're running here a bit. They're going to check down to is it Connor? He just keeps going. Hard to bring down these Cardinals. Could really use some pass rush up front right now to help try to swing some momentum to our defense a little bit. But just nothing. Hopkins going to go for a touchdown here. Bradbury, as soon as the ball was caught, he just stopped. Oh, defense having issues early on, and they're normally our strongest side. I'm not sure if you saw it there over on the sideline. Looked like the head coach and new defensive coordinator getting into it a little bit. Obviously, head coach not too happy with what's going on so far. We're going to go for Justin Jefferson on the sideline, and that one was almost picked, but luckily it was out of bounds as Chandler Jones now gets up a bit slow for the Cardinals. So far, a lot of injuries opening day. Honestly, the first down play didn't go quite too well for either team. Injury for the Cardinals, and then we had the incompletion, as that was an iffy pass. Almost got the completion. Should have just been thrown away. And on 3rd and 10, we're going to bring out the Wildcat formation with Dalvin Cook at quarterback. We're going to have a couple different guys this year who will play the quarterback spot, as we're trying to use Nwangwu's speed to get to the outside. He gets just enough, gives us the first down, and out of bounds to stop the clock. Come out in an empty set here. Typically, we don't run too much empty. We do have rookie receiver Dyson out there in the slot on the right-hand side. And that's where we're going, and he almost has the completion, but just not able to hold on to it. Budda Baker breaks it up. We'll stay out in that same formation here. Would love to see Jefferson get the separation here on the stop and go. And he almost did, kind of got bumped on the route. That's, definitely going to be a flag. 17 was holding him for the last 20 yards. Going to give us a good spot. And we still have 2 timeouts. That'll get us down to the 24. With 2 timeouts left, 16 seconds. We have probably enough time for about 3 more plays here. Try to catch him off guard with a draw and just not able to do much. So far, that interior run blocking, a little lacking so far. Would love to see Flanagan get open here. We have, if we could throw to that left side, good spotting for the quarterback. Saunders throws it exactly where it needs to be, and he hooks up with Flanagan in the back of the end zone. Exactly where that ball needed to be. Really good seeing Saunders actually listen to where the controller was telling him to throw that. Typically is kind of off when you do that, but right there, perfect pass, throws it in between the safeties, only where Flanagan could get it. The Cardinals offense will take the field. They have a little bit of time remaining here. I'm going to make some adjustments, make sure we're playing the pass as they go for a run here, and a good run again at that. Really struggling interior for both offense and defense as the Cardinals call their second timeout. And they will set up a Hail Mary attempt here. We're going to bring down the coverage, just try to throw them off a little bit. Have guys deep, bind them sitting back there, get the swat away, and they almost get the catch. That was Hopkins, it was almost tipped right to, but we'll head into halftime. This game tied 21-21. Our offense has played pretty well. We did have one mistake, but normally it's the defense that we could rely on, and they have not played too well today. Giving up a touchdown basically every drive. We're leading in terms of passing yards, but that's about it. Everything else is in favor of the Cardinals. Other games happening later on, Lions and Eagles. Do we have any information on the Bears? Yeah, Bears and Texans. And then Jaguars and Packers. So those are the key games for us. Need to make sure that they lose those. We get the win here today so that we can get a nice jump start here on the NFC North. And we will be kicking the ball off here to start the second half. Would have loved to actually start with the ball, but obviously we started the game with the ball, so we won't be doing any chance, at least offensively, to get the lead off the get-go here. defense could force a turnover, would be great, but they definitely have to hope that there were some adjustments made during halftime by the new DC. Just to try to get a stop would be great. Cardinals come out to start the half here in an empty set. Got 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. We're running some man coverage here as they go for a draw. Great play design, play choice for the Cardinals. We had no one across the middle. 5 linemen for them, only 4 for us. That was in favor of them the whole way. Nice job. For the new first down here, they're going to come out with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. A lot of spread for the Cardinals here. They're going to check down. Kirk breaks the tackle too. A lot of broken tackles. This could be another touchdown. Luckily, Henley gets over in time, gets the tackle. Eric Flowers down for the Cardinals, but a huge play for them down to the 8. So far, the Vikings defense in shambles right now. And there honestly hasn't been a whole lot of turnover, at least in the mid part of the Vikings defense. It's really just... And we get the pick! We get the pick! Harvey forced the rushed pass, and it just goes straight to Harrison Smith. That is the turnover that this defense needed, the opportunity that our offense needed to try to take the lead in this game rather than chasing every single possession. We'll come out here in the second half. We would like to run the ball a bit more. I believe Cook only has maybe 4, maybe 5 carries. However, not getting the blocking we really want up front. He has 8 carries, only 28 yards. Yeah, like I was trying to say earlier in the first half, one of the positions that really got diminished on offense is the fullback spot. You're only going to see him on the field a few times rather than being like the ham formation. That is no longer in this new playbook with our offensive coordinator, but Dalvin finally gets a good run and good blocking up front as well. We'll bring out Nwangwu here in the shotgun formation. On the draw play here, they've been running quite a bit of single linebacker blitzes, and it's worked pretty well. We get a decent amount there on the draw play from Nwangwu. Gets 9 yards, which was the best draw play we've had so far. Bring him out for the screen pass here. Try to get some linemen out in front. Try to make a guy miss. Instead, he runs over the corner. We've seen a bit of power showing in the last, I would say, about half a season, including this game for Nwangwu. Really trying to show that he's a well-rounded back. We'll bring in Kelly for his first run as a Viking. He gets a gain of 3 on the dive. Again, just trying to slow down the pace for our offense a little bit. Give our defense some time to come up with a game plan that isn't just relying on some crazed plays here. We're just going to need to toss that one away. Saunders still takes the hit. And on 3rd and 7, we'll bring in Mund for a little bit of some scramble quarterback play here. Obviously, we would like for him to run the ball, but if there's an open receiver like DJ Chark, who could be in for maybe his 3rd, can't get around Buda Baker, but down to the 14. I think that's a little bit of a poor spotting. I think it was closer to the 11, but we'll take it. Still a huge play for us. Mund comes in, makes a splashy play, and that's just what we need from him. Every now and then, make a splashy play. I would like to use Mund in the actual Wildcat formation, but in this playbook they don't have any passes out of that. So we'll still kind of use it like we did last year, as Wild's just a little bit slow off that double team block, and we get tackled after about a gain of 1 on the first down run there from Dalvin. I would like to see maybe Flanagan down the seam there, but with a 1 high safety, don't think that's where we're going to be looking for. Could be Cook on the angle route. But no, they do a nice job of covering everyone. They're still covering everyone. We're going to scramble here with Saunders, get a few yards and out of bounds. Again, using him more than I would really like as a scrambling guy. We would like to use him more as a field general in this new offense, but we just have to use what's available to us, and what's not available to us is an easy run there on the 3rd and short. Going to bring up a 4th and 2. Question is, do you go for it, or do you kick the field goal and get the lead? We'll at least come out here lined up to go for it. Check kind of what they have. Could go either way here for us, but we're going to give a little love to the fullback right down the middle. And he's going to get close to that first down. They say gain of 3, which should be enough for the first down, and they do give it to us. Come out here with an RPO. Would run first, but if we do happen to get Jefferson, Now we'll go ahead and run it right down the middle. Great blocking up front. Dalvin's in for his first touchdown of the season. Didn't need to overthink that one. Just follow the gaping hole and just take a nice little trot right on into the end zone. Going to give us our first lead on the day too, which is a long time coming. Now it's time to see if the defense can build on that one good play that they had at the end of their last drive where they just forced a quick pass and ended up getting intercepted. Reed Jr. comes in and gets a tackle. He had a good preseason, lots of interceptions, but haven't seen him make too many plays so far in this game. And really no plays up front for our defensive line that honestly is filled with a lot of really good guys. And Reed Jr. beat deep on that play. Going to be a huge chunk to Christian Kirk down to the 31. Honestly, pretty shocking to see how poorly of performance we're getting from Reed Jr. after such a strong preseason. But we do have options at the slot cornerback spot that we could look at. We have another guy that's about the same overall as Henley gets the tackle just before the first down on that dump-off pass. So it's good to know we have some options if changes need to be made. Bring down Henley here to make sure we get the good man coverage. So we're going to bring the double A-gap blitz, and we're just not allowed to tackle Murray there. It was a great play call for us against the read option, but Hunter wasn't even close to at least touching him on that diving tackle attempt. They're going to dump the ball off to another wide open tight end. Just no one covering that underneath. Ebron for the Cardinals gets the reception in another 4 yards as they just spend their entire day basically in our red zone. Another read option. Luckily for us, Murray decides to cut back and he ends up breaking the tackle. Should have been a tackle for a loss. Instead, though, they actually get a gain of a couple. We'll come out in our 46 defense here. Try to get a guy on everyone, and that's going to be another slant pass for a touchdown for the Cardinals. This time, I believe that's Moore who gets his first, I think, just catch of the day for a touchdown. Going to tie the game up 28-28, just under 5 minutes remaining in this game. And with our defense struggling so much in this game, we're going to come out and we're going to start chewing the clock here. Would like to drain basically all the time we have remaining, get a touchdown, good rush here from Dalvin, finds a crease, gets the first down. Yeah, I'd like to drain about as much time as possible, leaving just enough time for us to actually get some points on the board and not a whole lot of time for Cardinals to answer or our defense to give up some late game points. Budda Baker does a nice job filling that gap, maybe a gain of a couple, instead of gain of 2 on that first down run. We'll spell out Dalvin, bring in Kelly as he is our primary power back. He also has a bit of speed and elusiveness as well. Not as much speed, a little bit more elusiveness, but he gets rocked on that carry. Only a gain of, again, another 2 yards can bring up a 3rd and 6. And so far in this game, haven't seen really anything from Leach. We traded for him in the 3rd round, including our 3rd round pick and our former safety. We do find him here, however. Nice catch in tight coverage. Gets us the first down. Yeah, we traded our 3rd round pick and Jimmy Ward to pick him up from the Bills, as he really didn't play much in the Super Bowl, so we figured they're not going to really use him, and they were willing to trade, so we ended up picking him up, as well as picking up that first down on a nice run from Dalvin, and he's now in the zone. And another thing you're going to see a bit more in this new playbook is running out of the shotgun. Try to spread out the defense a little bit, as Dalvin does a nice job of confusing the linebacker. I believe that was Collins. So wasn't able to really read where Cook was going to go, and we get a gain of 6. Clock's still running. Of course, game's tied, so we will need some points, and we're going to find Leach wide open here. Gets the catch. Not as wide open as I thought it was going to be. Gets tackled pretty quickly, but that is the first timeout card for the Cardinals, as we're now in the red zone and marching. Come out here after the timeout. Staying in the same formation, going to run down the middle with Dalvin, try to follow the blocks as best as we can. He does a pretty good job, and that's going to be the second timeout for the Cardinals, trying to save as much time as they can for their, an answer, as they're assuming we're going to get in. And on 2nd and 5, we have the jumbo set. We got 3 tight ends out here. I'm going to change it to run to the weak side. So it looks like we got the better matchup there, but Budda Baker, he made a great choice of going to that side, but Dalvin Cook spins him around, stiff arms him, throws him, and he's into the end zone, giving us another touchdown lead with a little over a minute left. Defense going to need to hold on to this one. All right, defense, now it's your time. You've played I won't say much better, but you played a better second half. Time to make sure you finish the game out well here by getting a stop. They're going to dump it off to their fullback, maybe a second tight end. Going to get a first down for them. And maybe even more importantly, he got out of bounds as well. Again, we're going to set up the D-line to try to get a rush here on Murray. And that's just a wide open receiver. Denzel Ward never even got close to him. However, Rondale Moore gets up a bit slow for the Cardinals after that hit. And that does mean they are now out of timeouts, as we have a weird setup here for the man coverage. So we'll try to bring Henley over, and they go to the guy who Henley was supposed to be covering, and he's sprinting away from everybody. Can Brad? No, they're going to tie this game up. Defense letting us down in this game time after time. And don't cue up that song. We get some decent starting position here, close to the 30, thanks to Nwangwu. And luckily, we have all of our timeouts as well. So looks like we're going to need him here. Over Leach, looks like he was breaking open deep. And again, the ball comes up just about a yard short. Otherwise, that would have been a fantastic play to our first game receiver. Just trying to find something we could do here. Send Dalvin on a wheel route. Look for Chark. Not looking like that's going to be a good option for us. The ball comes out just in time to avoid the sack. We're just trying to find something that'll work here. Give us a first down. Because we need at least a field goal. Otherwise, we're going to punt the ball away, and I don't trust our defense right now. I'm going to check down here to Leach, who gets the completion. First down to the 45 for us. That'll keep the drive alive. And this play worked well for us earlier. Going to come back out in the Wildcat. Going to send in Nwangwu around the outside. Try to use his speed. Get to the outside. Get some good blocking. Try to use Saunders. Saunders gets a good block. And Nwangwu down the sideline at the 10-5. He's going to be in. Going to give us a lead with about 20-ish seconds left. Pure speed. Great job. Great unselfish play there from Saunders to kind of just throw a shoulder at a guy. Could have been what actually helped us get the touchdown there. And with 19 seconds left, the defense just needs to make the stops. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be all too hard, but never sure. Henley almost gets his first pick. He only gets 1 foot down, and the flag comes in. And now we're getting called for defensive pass interference on Denzel Ward. That gives them the ball all the way down to the 43. I'm going to try to play a little bit of some press coverage just to try to throw off the timing a little bit. We're just going to kind of chill in the end zone here. Try to knock this one away, and luckily it does hit the turf. We'll just need to keep doing that. 7 more seconds left in this game. I'll stay deep here with Keenan, who I've also referred to him by Harvey, which is his first name. They're going to go to the outside there. Another incompletion. 2 seconds left. Come on, defense. Going to spread out the D-line. Stay deep here with Henley as they go short, and that hits the turf. Our defense will, I don't know if you could say stand strong, but they won't give up the final touchdown for the Cardinals, and we will squeak out of here with a victory. That game was much closer than it needed to be, but a win is a win. They will head into the locker room to celebrate their first win of the season. Honestly, it came back out to be a pretty well-even game. Just across the board, the Cardinals did have about 3 to 4 extra yards a play than we did. But we ended up with 7 more points, and that's what matters at the end. And Saunders had a decent game, a little over 200 yards. Did have 3 touchdowns, did have 1 interception. Would like to see the completion percentage a little bit higher, but not awful. But I don't think that fully gets him off the hot seat yet. And after that game, we do see a couple upgrades. Jeff Flanagan back making some plays here for us. He'll get the possession upgrade, as that is just the best upgrade for tight ends. I feel you get obviously a lot of pass blocking, a lot of run blocking, as well as catching, break tackle. It's just the best upgrades for any tight ends. And then we also get an upgrade for rookie guard in Richard Wild. So let's take a look with him. And honestly, he's a pretty well-balanced guy. Obviously, we run a bit more power than we do anything else, so that is what we will upgrade with him. And with the coaching boost as well, moves him up to a 75 as he gets the +2 to pass block power and run block power. And that was one heck of a way to start the season, and it was a win that we needed. As we take a look over in the bottom right-ish area in the NFC North standings, currently the Lions show at 1. They might have just scored more points than we did, maybe. Not quite sure. But it is currently a 3-way tie with the Lions, Packers, and us all at 1-0 on the season. The Bears did drop their first game. They're 0-1, and they are our next opponent. So a big game next week, as it looks like we have a heavy NFC North start to the season, with the next 2 of 3 games being against the Bears. We also have a game against the Lions in between. So a lot happening here at the beginning of this season. We need to set our regional focus scouting next episode, and it looks like some new players have been picked up from our practice squad, including our center that we added there at the beginning of this episode. Adrian Jacobson is going to the Panthers. The Bears also picked up DeMarcus McKee from us, and the Giants picked up Chris Devlin, who was our fullback that we had just drafted, which ends up being okay with us because we really don't use a fullback that much in this new playbook. So ends up working out. Hopefully he gets some play time over there. But yeah, a lot coming in the near future for this series. So make sure you're sticking around. Hit that subscription button below, and might as well hit a like, comment, send it to a friend, bell notification, be notified of when these are posted. You can also follow me on Twitter, BigBearB_gaming. As I always tweet out when these are posted. And if you haven't checked out our new series that's coming up alongside this with our Stanford and California College et al. Franchise rebuild challenge that we're doing, I haven't quite figured out a shorter name for it yet, but if you haven't checked that out, I suggest you do. It's a lot of fun. We're using guys who, we had a fantasy draft, had to draft all available Stanford players first, and then filled out the team with the other California schools. So Cal, USC, UCLA, San Jose State, San Diego State, all those schools, those are the only schools that we could use. So including free agency and drafting. It has to just be from California schools. So it's a fun challenge. If you guys haven't checked it out, I suggest you do. But until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.